The problem is if the enemy has AA assets, you know, then they're going to be getting shot at. So, I don't have any AA assets on this map so that the UAV can do their work without being molested. Hit decals? Yes, hit decals are in. Okay, let's see. Where is that precision mission? I think it's going to take a couple more minutes. It takes longer.
Roger. Fire perfect.
There it goes.
Fire perfect.
That Gray Eagle put in another round to finish it off for
Fire
good.
perfect.
BMP3s tend to, when their armor gets punched through, they tend to go up really big because they are stacked full of anti-tank guided missiles and giant HE rounds and all that stuff. So they tend to go up in a big explosion when their hull integrity gets breached. Oh, there we go. All right, so no warning, no spotting rounds, nothing. Just is that the? Yep. Okay, there we go. Probably not actually a KO.
End of mission. Out.
Kind of hard to KO tanks with the artillery, but you can very badly damage them, knock tracks off, that kind of good stuff. So, even again, and that's a great thing against these Abrams too, is if you're having a tough time taking them out, just calling some artillery on them and knock out his subsystems. Okay, so that gives you an idea of what UAVs can do. So what I'm going to do now is, let's see. Okay, so I imagine a lot of you guys have been wondering, we're going to go ahead and go back to the Russians. I imagine a lot of you guys have been wondering what exactly, let's see what this guy happened to him. Yep, just immobilized, got his tracks knocked out. But immobilized is death in the modern battlefield. If you can't move around, you're going to die. Okay, so a lot of people have been wondering what it's like, how effective T-90s are, the T-90AM especially against an Abrams from the front. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to do some more shooting, but for the moment I'm just going to go ahead and let these guys shoot away. And this is just from the front at a distance of 700 meters, very close range for these tanks. So you'll know. Oh wait, actually no, you won't see that yet. We'll have to wait till the next hits. 4 hits, 1 penetration already. That tank is probably KO'd. That thing is probably KO'd, and it's just. Yep, there it is. That was KO'd the whole time. It just wasn't showing it yet. So yeah, it's really tough from the front, but it's not invulnerable. That one's also knocked out. That one's knocked out, guaranteed. So something else you'll see, and they're not really effective right now, there's a slight bug going on with them, but a lot of the Russian vehicles and some of the American vehicles, a lot of the Russian and American vehicles have airburst rounds for their HE rounds. I think all of the Russian tanks have them. They're really neat. So when they're shooting at infantry like this dismounted crew here, you can see them. They actually they airburst the round above them. Right now it's not super effective because there's a bug, but it's going to be extremely lethal against infantry out in the open or behind walls if they get a good shot in there. So you can tell they're firing airburst HE rounds to get the crew there. Yeah, that thing's dead. It just hasn't shown it yet. So yeah, still tough, but it's definitely not going to be like Shock Force where, you know, the Syrian tanks could just ping rounds off the Abrams all day long and nothing happens. So anyways, on the American side, we should see... Yep, laser warning, there it goes. As soon as I lifted the fire restriction, these tanks hit these with their laser rangefinders, and you get a warning over here. The laser receiver tells my tanks, whoops, they're being lased. And they also have a protection system that will work with it, but it's not activated right now because they have a cover arc, so they're ignoring it. You should definitely be hearing sound. Make sure you haven't accidentally muted your browser or something like that. Yep, nothing was destroyed in the first hit. Okay, so, yeah, these guys are just dead, except for one. One lived. High survivability for the crew, though. Very few crew casualties in here, as you can see. It's one of the things about the Abrams. Desert, sorry about your sound isn't working. I will upload this to YouTube right away if you just want to wait and watch it on YouTube. Okay, anyways, let's go ahead and move a couple tanks over here. Well, I guess it's just one tank. Alright, those guys have had their fun destroying things, so we're going to go ahead and tell them to hold fire again. And then I've got something over here. I got a bunch of AT-14s just sitting on a rooftop here. Of course, they'd be dead in an instant in a real scenario, but this is just a demonstration. So we're going to go ahead and let them fire. Weapons free. Let's see, I'm not sure if they can actually spot a living tank here. We're going to find out. Alright, so these tanks have active protection systems, the ones that I have here. So, let's go ahead and wind that back. So this guy is engaging. Alright, he's shot. Watch the tank's reaction here. Turret auto-slews towards the threat. It activates it, it automatically launches some smoke grenades. It is, of course, attacking a different tank, but this one probably also got lased by one of the AT-14s. And, if you notice over there, there was a new hit text. Active protection system prematurely disabled the ATGM before, or the missile before it hit the tank. And yes, that is very dangerous if there's dismounts around, so you want to keep your dismounts away from these vehicles. They do have a limited number of shots, 4 for the US tanks total. Once you get through that, it's worthless. It doesn't work anymore, although it is still good for detecting when you're being lased and launching smoke grenades. And they do fail every now and then, so they're not 100% protection. This guy is very confused. I think he's overwhelmed with he's got a bunch of tanks facing him and ATGMs firing at him from a different direction. But eventually those are going to get through. So yeah, from the US perspective here, this guy right here. Yep, detected a threat, canceled his covered arc, and started acting. He's going for the nearest cover right now. They will disregard these if they are engaging an enemy target, like if they're attacking an enemy tank, for example. They'll actually pause their reaction to the incoming threat so that they can finish their engagement. They'll also disregard it if they're moving quickly towards somewhere else. Because in those cases, you know, staying mobile and getting to your destination as fast as possible are more important. Alright, let's see. This thing's going to run out of ammo very soon. These guys might not be able to see anymore. Let's see. Oh, they still got rounds. They still got missiles incoming. I wonder if they can even see him anymore. Those things were throwing up a lot of thermal blocking smoke. Yep, they can't see him anymore. That's around. Also, that last surviving tank, he looks like he's pretty well... Yeah, I think he's pretty well hidden in there. That thing has too many rounds. I think there might be another little bug there. Should run out after a couple uses. So, anyways... Ooh, that round went short. Whoops. So yeah. There is that. So there's a couple ways you can get around that volley fire on them, and just, you know, just oversaturating saturating the defenses and overwhelming them. Works out pretty well. And of course, APS is not on all the vehicles. In fact, in most of the missions, it's fairly rare, and it's very expensive in quick battles. So it's not like everything's running around with a bunch of APS on. It's just one equipment possibility. And of course, it does nothing to protect you against top attack things like artillery, and I don't think javelins either. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and reboot this really quickly. We're going to start with a clean slate. Bidex asks, sniper company for Russians? Yes, there is a sniper company in the TONE. Merc Snare asks, any new info about the Red Thunder patch? It should be out any day now. Okay, one more demonstration with the Abrams. I'm just going to let everything fire right away. Got some vehicles over here that have a line of sight on the Abrams. It's not quite a perfect flank shot, but it's pretty close, as you can see. And this is just an example that if you don't take an Abrams on from long range, right up front, just from the front, they can die pretty quickly. So we're going to go ahead and just let this go. Whoops, what did I do? There we go. They're going to mess these guys up because they're facing right towards the front. There we go. That's the first one down. Yep, they just popped a bunch of smoke. They're like, oh crap, run! Well, that's annoying. The first time I did this, these guys all died within 10 seconds. But yeah, so that's actually, this is a great example. Okay, so you notice that we got away with only one dead Abrams, and the rest of them popped smoke and managed to get out of there safely. Over here, we lost a couple tanks, but the rest survived because they popped their smoke. Alright, so most of the vehicles survived this engagement, otherwise there would have been, like, just widespread bloodshed. So I'm going to go ahead and restart this, and this time I'm going to not let the Abrams use their defense systems. Disable their defense systems by giving them a little cover arc here.